Hey everybody, it's Tim with Broken Dice. Quick little channel update. It's been a while since I've done one. This is not any gaming, yes, but not historical gaming. I've taken a little break from that, and I've been working on my CMON miniatures for the game A Song of Ice and Fire. And I've got several. I did several things over this little hiatus from my normal historical painting, and I have to say I like the models. They're monopose. They come out of a box. There's only 12 in a unit for infantry, 4 for a cavalry unit. They're fairly quick to paint. I mean, it's a nice diversion from doing a block of 40 guys, and I don't know. I think sometime this year I'm going to even break out and get back into painting some Flames of War and my English Civil War stuff and that sort of thing. Well, let's take a look at a couple of individual models here that are like what they call unit detachments, and these are 2 cavalry models. So let's, and there we go on my little turntable, turning around right there are the one in the blue cloak. That is the new Brendan Tully sculpt. And the other one in the white cloak is a Stark Outrider attachment. And each one of these would give as an attachment in a unit, just like in any sort of fanciful game. They give like buffs to the unit and allow them to do a thing, We don't need to delve into that. There's plenty of videos out there. You want to run down that rabbit hole, checking out all the things that these guys can add and subtract, and yeah. This is just fun. These are great attachments, and excuse me, that Tully model really needed to come out because that first version of him was horrible. It was horrible. Okay. So these 2 guys, they'll go into cavalry units, and so let's take a look at a couple of infantry units for this game. First up, Karstark Spearman. It's funny when I always laugh because when I first started playing the game and when I was looking at all the units that were available, I said, "There's not one spear unit in this entire game." But eventually they've caught up and they've added spear-armed infantry into the game. For those that don't know, a standard size unit of infantry is 12 models. It's 3x4, and then you put in, you take a regular model out and you can put an infantry attachment in there. And again, just like with the cavalry, it gives them a certain ability or skill or some sort of order that they can do to assist them in combat or in their morale or stuff like that. We've all played games where that sort of stuff is in there, but these models are great to paint. Like I said, it's a great diversion from having a block of 40 infantry guys and trying to figure out how they go together and stuff like that. So this is very straightforward. You got 12 guys, 13 if you have like one of the attachments that you want to put in there, and there you go. A lot of fun. About 3 or 4 days you can crank out a unit, because really they're not that complex. Like I said, they're monopose. You pull them right out of the box, and you don't even have to pull them right out of the box. They're ready to go. There's no assembly. You can just prime and paint. And I know guys that don't even prime their models and paint these things up and stuff. So yeah, it's a different sort of process altogether. So let's look at the second unit here. So here we're looking at some Mormont Bruisers. I really enjoyed painting these guys. I don't know, they've always got that wild sort of look to them. And unlike these spearmen that have these great big shields and they're able to, form up and stuff, this unit here is a little bit lighter. They start with a 5-up save, so I know they look big and burly and like they should be like a heavy infantry unit, but in the game they're not. But I like the sculpts for these guys. They were a lot of fun to paint. Went by really quickly. like most barbarian infantry, you know, it's like painting Germanics and historical, very subdued color palette. Um, you know, you just crank them out one right after another, or, you know, batch painting where, you know, you just start with your primer, your base colors, your, you know, you just keep going on, and you can crank out a unit like this in no time, you know. Just, and I am not a great painter. Trust me. I know I know the lane I need to stay in, and this is my lane. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy the game. I enjoy painting up a unit fairly quickly. But I will warn you, though, it can be a rabbit hole when you start seeing all the different stuff that comes out and is involved. And if you've read the books and all the different units and all the different armies that exist, and they're cranking them out one after another. So yeah, it's one of those things. I've toned it down. I've kept myself to the Stark faction, and then, you know, everything that's kind of revolves around that. And I have some neutral troops too that I can plug and play for a little bit of difference. Neutrals are like they can fight for just about anybody, and they're kind of like mercenaries and stuff. So they're kind of fun to have. So you can kind of have a different flavor of troops on the table. Well, ends this video. I hope you guys like it. It's just fun. It's a fun diversion to paint these guys up and get them on the table. I'm playing over in Ohio with a bunch of guys right now, and it's fun. Been fun. We had a little campaign thing we were doing, and I'm going to try to break some of these guys out for like the last couple of battles of that, and just have some fun with them on the table. If you like, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. Leave a comment. You know, talk about what you're painting, what you do when you take a break from what you really love. Because, you know, no matter what we really love, sometimes you get that feeling like, oh boy, I've been grinding on this for a long time. And I do that. I do like to do that. I'll have a project, and man, I just grind on that project until I feel like I've hit a point where I can't do it anymore. A couple of years ago when I started my pike and shot in 28 millimeter, yeah, that's the way I was. I just kept grinding those units out and grinding them out, and I did it for about a year, and it was like, well, okay, I need to step away and paint something else. And that's what's good about a different game, a different format, a different, I don't know, different aesthetic, let's say. Even though they're armed with shields and spears and stuff, it's different. It's a little different pace, a little different, you know. I know I can do these 12 models and get a unit done, and it's not that big a deal. That's enough of me babbling. Everybody stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you next time.